What's next? This is new recruits. Lace up the boots, damn the man, watch your hands, your fam to check it out, we got plans. We stand, they demand, doors slammed in the stand, source force, got the course, no remorse. Filled with my love Legos, rarefied white light, bright shine in the night, quite right. My plight to clinch, like what a sight, fight like night, stick out a nigga, son and mega turners, yeah, we on it, that's what's next. All my ex people, mad respect, we got 99 solutions in the past ain't word. What's next? All my ex people, heart and chest, we got 99 solutions, so let love get it done. Lace up your boots, damn the man, watch your hands, check it out, your band, yeah, we got plans. Your fan, check it out, we got plans. What's next? All my ex-people, mad respect. We got 99 solutions in the best ain't word. What's next? All my ex-people, hard to suggest. We got 99 solutions, so let's let love get it done. Let love get it done, man.
Yes, you made it. We're here. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for making it. Welcome to Oregon. That's right. I hope you're feeling as blessed and blissful as we are out here. It's amazing. I couldn't help it. We got lots of snow out here in Oregon, and it's, oh, by the way, that's how you say it. Just Oregon. Like, you know, you have organs, you play an organ, you mine ore, you shoot a gun, or you can think of it this way. We're getting organized out here. It's amazing. We got a lot to cover in this video. I'm going to get everybody up to speed. We have so much that has happened already. I want to do a recap first before we go into all the big plans. Oh, you guys have been amazing. THI, you've been such a blessing to me, such a blessing to all of us. I have to, before we get into the meat of it, I just have to say thank you to so many people. Of course, Thomas and Kim, you know, your support has been amazing. I just don't know where we'd be without all the hard work you've already done. But you're not the only ones doing it. And this isn't just for THI Oregon, you know. This is for all of THI, this video. I want to give my love to all of y'all because I wouldn't be here now. We wouldn't be here now having all the great success and all the love and companionship and forward motion and healing and light that we have if it weren't for y'all. So THI Oregon, I'm about to go off on some love at the THI proper. I want to say thank you to everybody who helped me get to this place now. Everyone from Holly and, you know, Sharon and Karen and Michelle and Amy. Oh, I love you, sis. It's been too long. Wow. You know, Pam, Joni, Perla, Stephanie, Arkalik, you have been just an amazing, amazing person. What you guys have all done for me is incredible. Guys, don't think I forgot about you, man. My man, Rob, E.T., I love you, bro. Dennis, John, you guys, Jess, man, I haven't talked to you in for days. I'm thinking about you. I don't have a list. You guys are all written on my heart, okay? Mark, I'd love to talk to you more. Michael J, brother, we need a Zoom call, don't you think? Oh, so much has happened. And it's just important that you know that I'm thinking of you guys. I love you all. So many good people out there. Also, guys like Alan James, Randy Moggins, y'all doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. There's just so many good people who were there for me and have done a lot of work and are still doing great work. Marcel, all the way out there in Europe, my man, I love you, brother. We're gonna talk soon, okay? And congratulations on how well you're doing out there. I'm super thrilled to be back on this video here, and we're gonna jump into the meat of it here in a second. But before we do that and we get to all the plans and logistics and all the stuff that we're working on out here, I wanted to give everybody a recap about. I'm getting snowed on, man. Give everybody a recap about ThinkFest. Oh, everybody, we had a ThinkFest. That's right. We all met at the coast. THI Oregon We couldn't get everybody there, but there were about a dozen of us there, and all together in the same place. We've been meeting a lot personally, but in like groups of like 2 to 6 all over the state. It's a pretty sizable state, you know. It's like 4 hours across driving, but we do it, and we're happy to do it. But what we did was we decided that we couldn't get all of our stuff done just over Zoom calls and emails. You know, it wasn't righteous. It was great. It was great to have that opportunity, you know. But things evolve, and they have to. You know, we have to get to a point where we're really buttoning things up, and we're dotting I's and crossing T's, and we really needed to be together for that. And ThinkFest was just amazing. The people were beautiful. Oh my gosh. And the smiles and the hugs and the dreams coming true all in one weekend. It was like something, it was magic. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal, sensational. The food was great. I can't say enough great things about it, but I highly recommend anybody who hasn't done a ThinkFest in their state or their area, their country, whatever, to do that. If at all possible, because bringing folks together like that was just there's no substitute for it. It's different when you're in the room together and you're hugging and you're talking and you're sharing. There's just something about it that can't be replaced. You know, it had to happen, and I'm so glad it did. In fact, it was so awesome that we're doing it again. We're gonna schedule another one very soon. So yeah, ThinkFest was fantastic, and we're gonna get into some of the things we talked about there in this video. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say I love you guys. Thank you so much for for everything you've brought. You know, there's so many talented people, so many skill sets, so much love, so much healing. I couldn't be surrounded by a more amazing group of folks. So all of y'all who I haven't seen in a while at THI there on MeWe, oh my gosh, just so you know, I got tech targeted so hard. I'm on my 4th computer since joining THI. 4th computer! Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, man, Eric Schmidt and Bill Gates, those jackasses owe me 2 computers apiece. Seriously. Wrecked on MeWe, you can't get on anymore. It's a total joke, right? But they can't stop us. You know what I mean? We're moving forward so hard, it's unreal. So don't think I'm trying to ignore y'all out there. It's just been like that, you know. But they don't have us down. You know, we'll just take it as a compliment. If they're targeting us as hard as they are, and they are, we must be doing something right. And no amount of shadows can pierce our light. Period. You know what I mean? THI is representing, THI Oregon is representing hard people, hard fam. I mean, you know, this is the kind of people who, we're not waiting for someone else to fix the world for us. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say, oh, you know, they're working on it or they'll do it. Well, dude, who's they? We are they. We, THI, know that we are they. Okay, we're the ones that are going to do something about it. We're not waiting for angels to come and fix it. We're the angels. We've already arrived, and we are working hard together. Wings spread, you know what I mean? Love, light, bright, and we're bringing it hard. You know, this is a big deal, what we're doing right now. This is a once in a humanity opportunity to really bring love and really bring change to the world, you know, where all life on this planet is respected highly and equally, right? All groups and all individuals in that group, right, are loved and given opportunities to grow, to heal, to show their uniqueness, to share their beauty, right, to push forward in freedom and sovereignty. You know, this is an opportunity for all of us to come together as a true family on this planet and really move life forward and grow up. It's time for humanity to grow up, you know. We all kind of went through a spiritual puberty when we joined THI, and some of it was kind of awkward sometimes, but, you know, we're not finished yet, right? Humanity needs to level up, and it's that time. So we've never had more opportunity to do so. We've never had more support, and the future is bright, yo. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. We'll jump into it. Just know that out here in Oregon, we love you, and thank you, everybody at THI Oregon, for bringing what you've brought. And we're gonna jump into it. Mwah! Of course, as soon as I hit the off button there on the recording, I started thinking of other people at THI that I didn't mention. Rode, Ramona. I mean, I could just keep going on, but I wanted to tell y'all, if your name's not on that list, look, I look forward to seeing you very soon. If I didn't call you out earlier, I plan on having a big fat think fest where we can all be together. I'm thinking of all y'all. There's no way I can fit everybody's name on there, but we could fit all y'all on a dance floor. What? That's right, people. We are this much closer to that THI dance party I've been talking about. So, yeah, big love to all of you out there. We're gonna do this thing. So, first, before we get into like the visual aids and all the super details, I want to explain a little bit about what happened at THI in Oregon. How it all kind of started and what took place, what went on, and what got us to where we are now. When the THI groups got announced, my mother and I started putting together a ton of stuff, a ton of paperwork, and writing a bunch of things up so that we would really have everything in order, have our ducks in a row, so that if the funding got green lighted, then we would be able to get up and running. And then in the moment when my mom and I were sitting around getting all this done, we're like, this 2 people is not enough. We need someone who can really smash on the social media. We need a real, like a Facebook master, like someone who can really get in there and just keep the social media presence flowing and smooth and really lead that and head that up. And as we were thinking about it, 2 cities away, my man, David G. Love, like an angel, showed up and already started doing it. We hadn't even met. And we were both inspired at the same time. All 3 of us were inspired at the same time to act. And it was like that first 3 folks that got together, Mama Z, myself, and David, really just dug in and started putting together a format, a launch pad for interested folks to get together and be part of what we're doing here in Oregon with THI. Not long after that, we had the wonderful Leslie and Michael show up, who had just been rocks for us. Really, we wouldn't be the same without them. They came in, they brought their light, their talents, their smiles, their gifts, their energy, and we had 5 people in the beginning, and then all of a sudden people started showing up, like more and more folks just heard the call and felt the energy and that love magnet, that energetic magnet that we were holding. It drew many more folks to the cause. Yeah, we had so many amazing people start showing up. We had Idra show up and just bring in a whole new level of love and insight. And in just a vision that we didn't have before, we really needed. You got, Brian came along, who just bringing, all kinds of ideas. It's nuts. We'll get into some of the stuff they've been talking about. Max, wow, I'm so glad you joined. Truly, a blessing. Paul showed up. And he's bringing a lot of heat too. Everyone has amazing skills. I could just compliment all these people for a while, and Mary, oh my gosh, Mary, so wonderful. She was the one that it was her idea to have a new call. We do our Zoom calls on Monday, and it was her idea to do a Wednesday Zoom where new folks as well as old timers, in THI can come together and go over the must listen shows and discuss. So not only do we have our Zoom call where we get together and socialize and talk and whatever, and go over whatever needs to, be gone over, we have that call so that newcomers can really get up to speed, and we can all be on the same page. That's super important. So thank you for that, Mary. Just everybody in the group has brought so much. That I just feel surrounded by a talent pool that's just unparalleled. And it's gone so well. In fact, we discussed so much that we're going to start a third call on the weekends, it looks like, for our plans and projects, so that we can just focus just on that. And eventually when we have our THI offices, we'll be able to, have proper conference calls, or it'll meet together and it'll be much more smooth. But basically, everybody brought wisdom. They brought the best of themselves, and with great ideas and energy. I mean, this is the get it done gang. I mean, these are people who do work. You know what I mean? This THI Oregon is not just like a happy feelings book club. You know what I'm saying? Like, THI Oregon is not a place where folks just, who listen to the shows sometimes kind of get together sometimes. No, this is a group of people who want to change the world, and we're doing it. We're already changing. It's already happening. We've already made so many smiles. We've already fed so many people. There are people in our group, right? Marianne, right? Like, what's up? She's feeding 500 meals per weekend, plus volunteering at the Humane Society during the week. And, I mean, it's just nonstop. Like, everybody is bringing so much. Idra already has groups going. Max is already... she's, a therapist. She's already helping people who've been through incredible trauma. Brian wants to take the lead on establishing our own hempcrete production. And, he's got great ideas on that. Like, everybody just has so much. So that's really what this video is about. It's about what we're doing. So, and I really want to get into those details. But again, I just had to pop off a little bit and say thanks to everybody locally too. And also let those who weren't sure what has already happened out here kind of get a little bit of a beat on it. We're encouraging each other. We're supporting one another. No one's fighting about who's leader. If you see a gap that needs to be filled, there's no criticism. Someone just jumps in and fills it. There's so much to do that people get spread thin pretty quickly. So it's been amazing to have people show up and be like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I'll do that. Like Leslie's like, dude, I'll take notes. Idra's like, I'll organize that. I'm on it. I'll post it. Got it. People just jump in and do it. No one expects to be paid. No one expects, even thank yous. People do it because their heart moves them to do it. And that's really what it is. We were able to establish a group of people who believe in doing the work and feel good doing it, And for a lot of us, it's like, it's like THI is our real job. In a lot of ways, we feel like we already work for the People's Club. We just don't get checks for it, This is what our hearts are really leading us to do. And following that is important. It's a fearless group. It's a fearless group. It's not full of fear. It's not full of ego. It's not full of distraction. It's not full of doubt. Okay, which are four of the enemy's greatest weapons. Okay, remember that. Fear, ego, distraction, and doubt. There's no room for any of those things in love. Okay, we get that. So we work together and we support each other and we play our strengths as best we can and don't criticize others for their weaknesses or lack of ability in any moment. We have to build each other up, right? And nobody does it alone, and we all know that, right? It takes a group. Everything is done with teamwork. There's no I in team. It's not about this person. It's about what we're doing and what we can share forward, and the group gets that. There's no I in love. You know what I mean? We're moving forward, and love is a verb. Love is an action. Love is something you do, right? It does no good to tell people, oh, go be warm and well fed, and yet give them no food or clothes or blankets. So action, it feels good. So and we heal together, we grow together, we share each other, we share our stories. For the first time in our lives, we can just tell the truth and people listen. And that's what's happened, right? We've put together a group of people who want to move forward and are doing so in love, and yeah, that's what's up. So thank you, THI Oregon. That's just the shortest recap possible. We're going to get into those logistics. I know you're ready. You want to see what's coming, right? What are y'all working on? What are the deets? What's first? What comes next? Well, I'm about to show you. And this goes out tonight. This isn't just, for THI Oregon to get everybody's head in the same place, right? To make sure we're all on the same page. Because we have a lot of newcomers, who show up and it's like, wait, what? You guys are building a village? It's like, I just got here. This is overwhelming. Right. So we'll slow it down a little bit and give everybody a chance to go those details. Yeah. Get excited. Get ready. We're building amazing things. Again, big, huge love and kisses to the local THI group. Thanks for being who you are. Mwah. All right, so let's discuss. This here is our thriving tree. Huh? Like that little THI in there. So what I wanted to do was create a kind of visual representation of what we're looking at here in terms of our plans at THI Oregon, as well as some plans we've been talking about for a long time in terms of things like a printing house, production house, new schools, and things we've been talking about for a long time. And ultimately what we had to do was a few things first before we can achieve this beautiful, wonderful goal. Make this dream real of service to others and need, not greed, and real sovereign cooperative communities. So what had to happen was first we had to gather a group of big dreamers. Okay, see these dominoes over here? They're all different shapes and sizes from different places. This is our people. This is our THI family around the world that just decided to stand up, and join what we were doing. This is kind of the gathering of light that happened here in Oregon when the THI groups launched. We just have amazing, amazing people who all came together and really wanted to dream big, boom. All sorts of dreams that could help the world. In fact, all these dreams can work together and you can build entire communities this way. You could build an entire village called Elementia, where every single business and service and product is built in harmony with the community, with nature, with all life, with Mama Midgard, where we treat each other as equals and we're all valued highly and equally. No class distinctions, right? We had a lot of big ideas, but we had to get something going first, okay? Before the funding lands, it's super important that we get together and we discuss. We talk amongst ourselves as THI about what we want to do, what we're willing to do, what we are doing, what our plans are, and really get our heads together so that we could come up with a group vision, right? So there wasn't some kind of capital L leader of the group or one idea more important than the others, but just a place where we could all discuss, we could learn, we could grow, we could heal. We could just discuss and share and come together as a family and really find our long-lost brothers and sisters out there and find what each other's talents were, what our gifts are, what our experiences are, and really see what kind of, what we're working with, right? What kind of amazing light warriors and loving people that we have who want to work together and really get things done. Really do work, right? To get it done, gang. Who is this group of people who can get along and who works hard? They don't want credit, right? They're not asking, to be paid for what they're doing right now. Everybody here is just really given everything with their heart to create something magical and amazing for the future. We want to set good examples and create new best practices. So that's what happened. We came together. Now, and we put our ideas together so that this is also important that we didn't have a bunch of people with individual plans coming together and then getting their plans funding and running off into the woods and not being together anymore. We wanted to create a team that worked together for a long time and really created something big, real systemic change that would last. We're starting things now that aren't going to be finished for 2 generations. So we know that. But we had to come together and dream big and find a way to put all our dreams together so we could work together on this and really empower one another and stay together and create a real family of change. So that's what happened. So we realized that what we need to do is get a lot of paperwork prepared And Mama Z has gone bananas with that. She's going to be having support from Leslie. Thank you for that, sis. And they're going to be making sure we have everything we need so that all our ducks are in a row and all our legal I's are dotted and T's are crossed. And when the funding arrives, that everyone will be ready to receive, so that we can put together something real for the folks. So we can do this full time, not part time. We don't want to just do this in a spare hour here and there when we can. We want this to be our lives and our livelihood. We want to push forward in this. So, that takes a little bit of work. And we've got that squared away. We understand what we need to do in terms of setting up nonprofits and the proper articles of, indemnity and things like this that are going to be needed for the legal language and roles and blah, blah, blah. But no big deal. A lot of us have done this before, and we can explain it to others. So everyone knows what we're doing. There's transparency, redundancy. We're all on the same page, So we've already done this. In the meantime, we're establishing roles and office prep. We need an office in Southern Oregon as well as in Northern. We're talking about one down here, one up in Portland. It's a big state, and we need to service both urban and rural needs, and we need to communicate well, and we need to really have it established so that we have a place for us to meet, as well as a place for outreach, so people who are interested in this stuff can get to us quickly. And we're not trying to be exclusive in terms, we don't want the rest of the world to know about this. We want to have the right people doing the right jobs, but we also want to make it available to the world around us. We're trying to set a good example for everybody to follow, not just people who did THI. Everybody in the world should be able to look over and see what we're doing and see how amazing it is. It should speak to the hearts of people. So everyone's doing that now. People are just rising to the occasion and filling out where they think they want to be in terms of the big dream and what office they're going to be working at, what they're going to be doing there. In fact, we've already had 2 people offer up their houses, one in Northern and one in Southern, for offices temporarily before the funding lands. You can use my house as the office. That's amazing. Thank you, people. As well as we have a meeting place in Southern too for near the airport for conferences if necessary. So that's all dialed in. We're all looking at land and everything right now. It's pretty amazing to see what people are up to. So before we go asking for a ton of money and funding and everything so we can tackle all these big dreams, and we'll get to those in a second, it was important to a lot of us that we do something first. When the funding arrives, our plan is, instead of asking for, let's say, $23 million to do all these projects, to get all these rolling and hire the right people and start putting shovels in the ground, instead of just getting a huge chunk at first, what we wanted to do was take about 1% of that number, right? And so we'll call that $230,000. That's actually very close to our estimate. The 23 million up there is more of a guess, right? We're just saying we want to take a small amount of that. We want to prove our concept. We want to hire the right people. We want to do this correctly. If we're going to make mistakes, I want to do it with 1% of the money, not the big chunk, okay? It's super important for not just us and the people out there in Oregon who are going to be part of this to see us do it correctly, but it's important for the other people, the People's Club and the Trust, to really see our system and our process and help us with that. We want to spend the big funds correctly. So this is a chance to maybe break some eggs, maybe find out who belongs, who doesn't, who's invested, who's not, and really establish that council of the Civil Action Council, what some of us are calling the NOW Council, the New Oregon Wisdom Council. But we want to act now and get things done. So ultimately, we need that money to put people to work, get to work on Monday. So we can meet in our offices, we can start this planning process officially at full time and make sure everything is correct. Like, we have a lot done already, for sure. We're ready for funding in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's wise to just start with the big chunk like that. I think what we need to do, and a lot of us agree, is take 60 days to really prepare so that when, and we have a time frame, so that within 2 months, we'll be able to ask for the larger funding that will carry us off into these other directions, okay? This is our getting our ducks in a row moment, and we want to do that correctly. Again, there needs to be transparency, there needs to be redundancy, and we all need to be on the same page, so that no one person is critical or knows everything about the thing, that we're all in line, that we've all put ourselves where we need to be, so that at the end of that time, we can say, hey, Kim, check it. Here's we need $23,241,863 and 26 cents. Like, we're going to have it to the penny. We're not going to waste anything. And we're going to make sure all of these plans are working in accordance with the People's Club guidelines. Everyone needs to be on the same page with that so we can share amongst each other, as well as the world outside who has questions. We want to be singing with one voice in harmony. So again, we feel like it's super important that we establish this council, and so that people who are willing to come to the table as equals and simply discuss policies and plans and projects and logistics and all that, systems, distribution, all that, are in place, right? So that we can do this correctly, right? We got this, fam, because we're planning it out and we have the right people. It's happening. It's amazing. It's a blessing and it's a miracle to see. So what are we working on? What are the big plans here that we're working toward, right? Like this huge gathering of wisdom and love kind of came together in a lot of ways. Let me show you some of the highlights. So some of the things we're working on, these projects we want to get to in terms of helping the world around us and solving real problems and solving them properly, solving them now. Max brought up a great idea about critical care centers. There's a lot of trauma and there's human trafficking going up and down I-5. It's like crazy. A lot of people need healing and they have emergent needs, right? Like some people need help right now. Some people need something more than the average doctor's going to, maybe offer them, right? Sometimes they need the right kind of friendships, relationships and other things. And so, things like 5D counseling and fostering for people who need, homes right away or in these really critical places. Well, she's a lettered psychologist, that Max. She's got a lot of people interested in helping her with this. But there are people who have real needs right now that aren't being taken care of. And people can't move forward and help others if they're not healed, right? So it's like super important as a foundation to make sure we have healthy, happy, healed people. Not addicted to drugs and addicted to counselors and therapy, but on their own 2 feet, standing up strong and able to help others, right? So that's going to happen. Over here, you'll notice this is Brian's domain, hempcrete. We're going to need gardens, we need food production, and we need building materials. This will create sustainable jobs, as well as all that other stuff, the nature stewardship, whether it's bees, worms, fungi, orchards, all of it. We want to have a completely self-sustaining environment. We want everything you need as a person to thrive, not just survive, is within the scope of what we want to build, right? So again, that food is hugely important, and so are building materials, right? Things like hempcrete, whatever. You'll look up here, you see homelessness, tiny home villages, skills training, job placement, food distribution. Things like this are super important, right? We're talking about basic needs. There's a lot of people who need a lot of help, and we can help them, fam. Like, we know ways. We've got people who are very interested in working on this. People like Michael, David, of course, lots of other folks here in the group. But people need a place to stay. People need jobs, man. You can't just throw fish at them, right? You have to teach them to fish and show them where the lakes are and get to it, Like, it's important that we tackle the basic fundamental needs, If people think about Maslow's style, and, there's a reality to that. We also need existing outreach, right? You can do endowments for things that already need help. It's going to take a minute to build a whole brand new school, but you can really help some schools right now. Childcare is hugely problematic right now. You can also give outreach to vetted charities of all kinds. We have now a collection of all the outreach and charities in Southern Oregon as well as the Portland area. We've done a lot of gathering on that. So now it's just a matter of vetting them all. It's seeing who's already doing something fantastic that we can support. Cooperative conversion for existing structures, that needs to happen. And help people move from a business model they have now, perhaps, to something more productive, cooperative, and that kind of thing. Over here we have, we're looking at the tech stuff, as well as a bunch of other things that are going to draw interest to the community and what we're doing, and rolling out new tech and moving forward in a harmonious way. We're talking about clean water, healthy technology, and new and advanced, we'll call it, right? It ain't new, it's old, but advanced technology in terms of energy transportation, as well as if we put this all into one area, which is possible, we would love to have in the village a just the top of the line telescope, a new radio and UHF station. I'd like to do a tech display for us to roll out in a high-tech medical center. So that doctor in Brazil, man, maybe you just need to move to Oregon, brother, and we'll get this taken care of, okay? Yeah, there's a lot there, but it can absolutely be handled. And this kind of exposure is good for learning, for the people involved as well as people out there who need to know about this stuff. And I can spend a lot of time, we'll get more detail later. Just here's the overview. As well as the TPC Pro House. Wow, we need our own production and printing for art and lit distribution. Max is writing an incredible book right now that no one would publish, but we will, because there's a million people that need to read it. There's so many reasons we need to have a pro house, a printing house, for books, movies, performance, right? Creativity, expansion, any kind of merchandise, clothes, outreach, pamphlets, right? New businesses are going to need marketing. Thank you so much, Paul, for being there for that. They're going to need an online presence and this kind of thing. We need to be able to get our stuff out and have it done in a professional manner. So there's a lot of artists, creative people, THI who really could use, would just thrive here. This is where they're meant to be. And again, more details later. But that's coming. And as well, new schools and real knowledge. Okay, we're talking everything from early childhood care and bringing the elderly together with young people, as well as animals and gardens in their local communities. Things are super essential. We should have, the most vulnerable, and neglected kids that we have. I mean, kids out there need so much love and care. Why not have the most patient, wise among us, right? The elderly who often get ignored as well. Why not bring them together? It's meant to be. We all know it. It feels right and it's good and it gives them all a sense of purpose and contribution, K through 8 schools, new schools on that. We're talking about vocational and teen learning as well in terms of like other types of, college or skills training, education, things like that they're focused in at that point. We need to reteach the teachers, okay, straight up. I mean, there's a lot of people out there with PhDs in Egyptology who don't even know they had electricity. We're gonna have to cover these bases and get people up to speed. Workshops, retreats, I think, are going to be super important. We need to open new mystery schools, right? This stuff has been hidden, so much hidden history and understanding of the mind and body and spirit and technology and all these kinds of things have just been hidden for so long. And it's time to get that out, as well as cooperative and service-based systems training in business, schools, governance, things like this. And art, sport, culture, ceremony, and a creativity center that's coming. So let's get to some deets on that. But this could all be one big dream village, and it's happening, fam. We're building it now. Okay, so we're going to have to make a part 2 here. There's just a lot to cover. We'll get to the deets in the next vid. But first, we got some presents for Thomas from THI, Oregon, man. We got to get these to you, brother. We can't wait to see you. Also, congratulations, by the way, to the Rogue River Rattlesnakes going 9-0 on the season. Amazing. Nice work, ladies. All right, so we're just going to polish out here. We'll see you soon. We're going to do Go Forward, the dance remix. Love you, fam.
Go forward, it's all about now. Go forward, make it count loud. Go forward, listen to the birds sing. I'ma make the bells ring and on to the next thing. I see the scared setting up a soft position. Always seems so focused on the opposition. I think differently, club of the people, serving all the souls that be running from the steeple now. We got a vision for the future now, children. Opposite the system that the old got rebuilding. We got the trust and the ethic for the working. Love, sweat, and tears propagate a pure circuit now. Go forward, it's all about now. Go forward, make it count loud. Go forward, listen to the birds sing. I'ma make the bells ring and on to the next thing. For the film we break a jam of information. Tuning in the station, giving total liberation. inflation of the ego, we don't need it, my friends. Cause our hearts spark fire in the dark to the end. Go forward, it's all about. Go forward, make it count. Go forward, listen to the birds sing. I'ma make the bells ring. On to the next thing. I said, baby, I think I need to mention, maybe some things will need attention. I know you wanna run true, but I tell you soon it's gonna swallow. Go forward, it's all about now. Go forward, make it count. Go forward, listen to the birds sing. I'ma make the bells ring. On to the next one.